First though, 9 million people in the UK have never used the internet. Amazing figure, really. But you might be able to help change that. Campaigners are trying to recruit 100,000 volunteers to get people online before the 2012 Olympics.
Sounds like quite a tall order. Here to tell us how it can be done is the UK's so-called digital champion, Martha Fox, and someone who has already signed up as a volunteer, Jonathan Wilson, who's from the Scouts. Hello, both of you. Thank you very much for coming in.
Good morning.
So, Martha, first of all, set out what you're trying to do.
Well, as you say, 9 million people have never used the internet. 9 million people who, one small thing, could never watch that hilarious video that you showed just before. It's a very important thing that you can use in your life for all sorts of different reasons: employment, education, saving money. And I think that we have got a real shot in helping those people if we just join up the people who do use the internet every day, all 30 million of us, with the 9 million who can't. So today my team are announcing that we have got 100,000 people who'll be digital champions from the public and the private sector, great organisations like the Scouts helping us, but other people as well, and the BBC is part of the campaign too.
So Jonathan, how are you involved? What are you doing?
I'm going into this residential home and going in to help the old folks there to use computers, really basic stuff, some of them. They just can't use a mouse, can't use a keyboard.
Well, a bit intimidating sometimes, all the electronics, and especially when as you get older, sometimes your eyesight not so good. So you've got a special prop there. Let's see this.
Great keyboard. It's black and yellow, as you can see, and is brilliant for people who've got bad eyes and can't see very well.
It's very big, isn't it? It's about 3 times the size.
Often easier to see yellow and black, rather than white and black as well, isn't it? Martha, you say that 9 million people aren't on the internet. Is that because they can't get onto the internet, or is it because they don't want to be on the internet? Do we know?
The biggest reasons are lack of motivation and skills, and then often price. And so that's what I'm really pleased about today, because the motivation and skills, we really hope that our Digital Champions Network, take this one champion and turn them into hundreds of thousands of people all over the country, will really help with that motivation bit. We know that people who've recently got online say that the reason that they did was because someone that they trust showed them. It's not my annoying voice blaring out, but somebody in their own local network. So that's why I think having this trusted friend is going to be really, really important.
Because you need to have somebody there, Jonathan, who'll answer questions right on the spot.
Yeah, we're just there to teach them how to use the computer rather than teach them when to use it or anything like that. They need to learn the skills that we have. And we
so what sort of things do they ask you when you show them around?
It's quite simple things, like things you wouldn't think of normally is double clicking a mouse or something like that, and when to click your mouse, or how to click your mouse, or how to use a keyboard when you're typing and what programs to open.
Yeah. Well, for those people who say, oh, I haven't used it, I don't need to use it, there's nothing on there that I don't know already, how would you sell it to them?
Well, I think the first thing is, now more than ever, it's the savings. We know that even if you're from the most low-income household, you save £270 a year by being online. That's switching energy bills, finding better deals all round. And if you're from a slightly higher income household, it's up to £560. So that's a pretty compelling reason in these economic times.
And if you can't if you can't afford one of these, then you can always go to your local library, or there are other places to get online.
Right. Exactly right. And we're also announcing today that we've done 3 deals for computers under £100, refurb computers and others. There's 3 different packages that you can find on our site, helppassiton.co.uk. So people really shouldn't feel that cost is a barrier anymore to getting on the internet.
It's a big difference, Jonathan, though, as you will have grown up with the internet. You probably can't remember a time when there wasn't the internet around. But it is, if you've grown up in a time, some people before there was even colour TV, imagine. It is quite intimidating, isn't it?
Yeah, but the best thing they have is communication when they get on the internet. We would think nothing of communicating through the internet, but a lot of the old folks don't get to see their family, so we get them to communicate with their families who are abroad on the internet.
And on Skype and things like that.
Things like
it's a really important point. Jonathan's completely right. There are 3.5 million people in the country over 65 who don't see anybody all week. No one. And I think that just being able to connect through the web, make friends, see your family, just so important.
Okay. Now, Jonathan is one of the first volunteers to sign up. You've been doing it already. How do other people get involved?
Well, as I said, there are 2 things you can do. You can become a formal champion, and you can go to our website, helppassiton.co.uk, or the BBC First Click Friends website, and they'll show you exactly what to do. Or you can just think, well, I know someone who isn't online, just help them. Don't need all the formal skills and training. Just sit them down, ask them what they're interested in, help them get on the internet.
And how much is a piece of kit like that?
We're doing deals for computers that are under £100.
And they come with keyboards like that,
some
do
of
they?
the computers are fully able to deal with all kinds of assistive technology, of which that will be one bit.
All right. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you both.